It's time for another edition of Heavy in the Paint, where great sports talk, great guests, and great laughs calls home in the paint. Here's your hosts, sports aficionado Gerald Brown and former NBA star Kenny Anderson with Justin Payton. Let's get in the paint. Take it away, guys.
We gotta celebrate.
Another edition is here. Gerald Brown, Kenny Anderson. We back. We back. I went solo last week.
Yes.
AKA back. You know what? And we're going to break this down like none other. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you follow what we're doing because we got a lot on tap.
Yeah.
Hey, what's going on, man? You had a week off. You was load managing. I don't know. The report was you was load managing.
I was under the weather. Man.
Okay.
I was my high blood pressure. I had to, that's another story. But
yes.
I won't get deep into that. But I'm a little better right now, and I'm back at it. We're back at it.
Let's go.
Yeah.
So you're not load managing. It's always great to see you, man.
Yeah.
I want to start off with a whole situation where I talked about the injuries, and I really wanted to get your thoughts on this because, we got this rash of injuries now.
Yeah.
And K.A., you've been there. You played that. Is this something that can be done to fix this? Because it just seems a little different this time.
No, I played in a different era. So this era is really much different. 2025, it's a different era. These young men, they're playing a lot of basketball, and they're up in that. They're very quick, things of that nature, and you have to take care of your bodies. You have to, and this year with a lot of Achilles heel, Jason Tatum, Lillard, Halliburton. So it's a lot of wear and tear on their bodies, and if you want great production, you gotta play these guys willingly. Certain days, and that's what I was thinking today. I was like, it's 82 games, maybe cut it to 62, but then you have to take the money out, and nobody want to do the money.
Yeah,
they don't want to have to change up the money. So that's the difference. But I think about 62 games, but that's about 20. Take 20 games off. But it's the money factor. Nobody want to give up the money.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we have Giannis out with a groin injury. Victor Wembanyama, who I predict to be my MVP, also out now. You had Jalen Brunson with the, he's dealing with the ankle. Reportedly, he's going to be back. He's a possibility he might be back. You have,
but that happened in a game. Such things like that, when you go down, that certain injuries are affected in the game. Jalen Brunson, he sprained his ankle in the game, so that's a little different. Somewhat.
Right.
Ankle injuries, you can't escape those. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
You usually sit out a week or so and you get back on it. But these deep bad injuries, with these star players, it's pretty tough.
Well, you know what? And just going through some, let me just throw out some names, Kay, to let you know that, again, this, like you said, I agree with you because this feels a lot different than before. Kristaps Porzingis is out. He's dealing with a knee. He's questionable. He was supposed to be questionable for Thursday's game against the Spurs. Zachary Shea, he had that nasty fall in the game with the hip. We already know about Trae Young that's out.
Yeah.
Jason Tatum is out. We know about that, although there's a possibility they're talking about he's going to be out. But here's this. From the Charlotte Hornets, Trey Mann, Liam McNeely, Brandon Miller, Grant Williams, all out. You go to the Bulls, Jalen Smith, Zach Collins, they're out. Trey Jones is day-to-day. Cavaliers, Darius Garland is still out. Max Strus is out. And then we think about the Mavericks, Cooper Flagg, You have Derek Lively. You know, Cooper Flag is out. Lively's day to day. You have Daniel Gafford day to day. And we know Kyrie is out, as well as, Anthony Davis has.
You know, all those players, you say, are you injured or you hurt? You know.
And that's what I'm saying.
Are you injured or you hurt?
Right.
What, I get it. But,
right.
You know, and this is where, you know, not today's ball players are a little bit softer, man. A little bit softer from my era when I was used to seeing guys play and things of that nature. And I know the money issue is high. Oh, you got to be ready to play this, that, and the other. But I just think it's a little more, you know, you're injured or you're hurt. It's just different, man. Different nowadays.
Yeah, and let me just give you a couple more guys. Most notable, Kawhi Leonard. He's been out with a foot and ankle issue. He's been out for quite some time. You have Derek Jones that's now out. He's been dealing with a sprained MCL on his right knee. Yeah. Bradley Beal is done for the season. He will go into season-ending surgery on his left hip.
Yeah.
You got Ja Morant is out with these right calf strain, another calf strain. Jaren Jackson Jr. is out. It's been these calf strains, and like you mentioned, you know, with these calf strains, you gotta be very, very careful with those, because that is really the sign right there. If you push it too much, like I mentioned with Victor Wembanyama, if you push it too much, that could possibly result in a guy tearing his Achilles, and so. That is the biggest thing that do you limit the games and stuff like that? I don't see that, because there's too much money being lost.
There's too much money involved. That's where, but I would say if you could do it, but it's too much money involved. You really can't do it. So they probably, you know, they're gonna go the end of the season, sit down and discuss it. Certain players that's been injured. Injury prone, you know how many games they're gonna, and you gotta let the ticket holders understand that certain players won't play the whole 41 games at home.
Right.
So they probably play 31 at home.
I mean, 31
instead of 41 at home, and then that's just take 10 home games off and 10 road games off for those guys who's been injury prone.
Right.
That's always, you know, because it's just rough right now. Guys want to take their kids to see the games, see their favorite players, and when they go to the game, the kid he's not playing because of injury, and it's kind of hurtful, you know.
Yeah, I would say, man, 21 games, because think about it this way. Right now, we got Paul George is out. He's probably not going to be playing back-to-backs. We already know Joel Embiid is going to be out, not going to play back-to-backs. It's hard to sell this to the fans. Is it something that needs to change? I know, you know, like you said before, and I've heard from other veterans that say these guys are not built like you guys of yesteryear.
Yeah.
Here's the thing where I think about, maybe this might be the best thing, and I want to run this by you. I'm not saying eliminate any games, right? I'm not saying that we tell ticket holders your favorite player is not going to play 41 games at home. It might be a number, but really start focusing on, instead of these guys with these so-called trainers in the off season, and whatever this my trainer, and look, I'm not mad at anybody getting their money. But at some point, this is a problem. And it really goes back to, if anything, the so-called trainers and these guys training in the offseason. What was your offseason like from your rookie to your first year?
You got to train. You got to take care of your body, you know.
Right.
And you know, personal trainers is fine. And watch what you put in and take it to your body. You know, that's a big thing, and dieting and things of that nature. You just I don't know if you can get away from injuries though.
It's a part of the game.
It's part of the game. You can work out every day, get in the game and twist your ankle.
Yeah.
Like what would it? You really can't control that because you're just playing with so much, quickness. Unafraid. You're just going up to the back. You're just playing the game that you love. So injuries is a part of the game. You really don't know.
But okay, so then let me ask you this then. When you were training and stuff, because like I said before, I remember you were around guys like, Evander Ford and Arnie Jacobs, rest in peace. You were with Vincent Smith and Kenny Smith. Was it more playing basketball than just getting in the gym and doing skill training? What was it? Was it more playing than skill training?
Yeah, you had to skill train. So this is my regiment schedule was like at least 2 hours in skill training, and then I would look for pickup games, things of that nature, playing in the recreation center, in the parks, or whatever, what have you. But you always had to go to the gym and take care of your body, as far as lift and things of that nature. Your trainer. I remember 1997 when I signed with Portland Trailblazers. That's what hurt me. I think I should have made the All-Star team that year. I trained extremely hard in the off season in LA. So my last on Sundays, me and Dave Paval, my trainer, we used to swim. He used to have me swimming, things of that nature. I did everything. I worked extremely hard on my body and everything. I was in great shape. I had a great year. You can look it up, you know what I mean? And but I remember, that last on Sundays, that was my rest day, but I was swimming. I went swimming.
Were you playing down at UCLA with that?
Yes, UCLA and all that.
So,
and because I worked out with Dave, and then I just went and played and things like that. I just had a regiment schedule that I would do every day, and it just paid off. But thank God, I never had an AC injury, Achilles. I had just broke my wrist and my jaw. That was it. Yeah. So it was nothing, stopped me from playing the game for long. Well, my wrist and my jaw, but other than that, for a long period of time, and it took me out. I never had no injuries like that. So thank God.
Yeah, and I mean, again, you talk about growing up, playing a lot. Yeah. I remember hearing the story that, your people would tell you they wouldn't let you play on concrete. You stopped playing concrete.
Yeah, I stopped playing concrete.
Or stuff like that.
My mother wouldn't let me play. So I just she wanted me to play inside, gyms and things of that nature, just for my knees and stuff like that. So it was cool though.
But you played a lot of basketball because the thing that people will say is, well, the AAU basketball, it's too much basketball, but then you come from an era just like I do, where playing basketball was like the thing to do that kept you out of trouble, it kept you focused. And like you said before, you played a lot more basketball than I did. Yeah. But you played so much, but yet you avoided those injuries. And yes, everybody's different. I understand that, but when you broke that wrist, that was what, your second or third year in the NBA?
Third year, New York Knicks. That was probably my second year in the league. Second year.
Because you broke your wrist. I remember.
Shout out.
Yeah, Dave Kane and I ran into you at Chaz and Wilson's. So you was at Chaz and Wilson's. You know what I'm saying? You was just sitting there with in the cut. I said, and you know what I'm saying? We was having a hard time. You said, yo, y'all want to get in? Come on, man. It was, it was an off-season night. It was summer night.
Yeah.
Chaz and Wilson and stuff. But just going there. I think really guys need to play more, man. And
I think so. I think you're on that. Play more and don't just train. Play more pickup balls, stuff that they do it in LA at UCLA. I don't know if it's still going on. Right. But that was great basketball. Magic Johnson. Kobe Bryant, rest in peace. He was out there. All of us was out there balling. Everybody that came through LA and stayed out there, that lived out there, was balling in the morning. It was great runs.
Yeah, I don't think that they're, and I could be wrong because I'm not on that scene, but I don't hear about something. I know that they do something. I heard that they do something at the Flight Gym or somewhere in New York, but you know that's comparable to maybe what was taking place over in LA, because I heard about that. I think the thing that I would say, what I remember as great run was those Friday nights at Brandeis, where you would come in there and you know you're not getting anybody and everybody just coming on the court playing against Kenny Anderson.
Yeah.
New York ball players, cats coming out.
That was awesome run.
Yeah.
That's where I learned some of my, I learned how to play ball, man. And I played above my age limit and everything. I played with Kenny Smith, against Kenny Smith, Mark Jackson, Rod Strickland. Couch had it going in there, man. Great bat. Everybody from the city come in there. Unlimited players,
Yeah.
You don't really know their names and all that, but they're great players.
Yeah.
Great players. Great work, man. I had great work.
I remember Walt Berry coming in there.
Yeah, Walt Berry. Yeah.
Pearl Washington, S&P.
Yeah.
You just had who's who in there.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there, I'm like, ooh. And you know, it wouldn't be anybody and everybody getting on the court. You had to have a name. I remember you came in there and Mr. Arnie Jacobs didn't let you didn't have to go through none of the drills and stuff like that. You came in there, they say, you ready? They said, K, you ready? Get out here. I said, what is going on right here?
Yeah, it was great, man.
You know what?
Great competition.
Yeah, they said that's Kenny Anderson.
Yeah, great competition.
So, another thing that has come up is really this whole thing about the whole, the NBA and this All-Star game. Now, this whole thing where the All-Star game, I'm trying to understand this format. So basically, the great people with the NBA, they're going to have the international players against the U.S., but they're going to make it into 3 teams. And you're going to play a round robin of 8 players, 8 players, and they're going to play that. And I understand. And the biggest thing is people have to realize All-Star games are for the sponsors of the NBA, right? It's for the network.
Yeah.
They're going to sell a lot of advertising.
Yeah.
That's their Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Then you also have the partners and sponsors and advertisers that do business with the NBA. So that's why, if you notice, it's sometimes very, very difficult to get tickets. It's because they're all given to them. That is what the NBA puts on. But what I'm really struggling with is why not just have 15 of the international players go against 15 of the U.S. players, and you play 1 game and you just play. I don't need all these mini games and stuff like that.
I don't try too hard. I just want to go back to the old school East and West All-Star game. Period.
But we know why that can't happen.
Why?
Because the players wasn't playing.
Yeah,
they wasn't even sure. You an All-Star. You a former All-Star. What you know what I'm saying? You wasn't
the winner. Now, I don't know about the fee. I don't know if they took that out. The winner gets a certain fee. That's what they should be playing for. But I just think it's an All-Star game. It's the East and the West. Period. Why even change it up?
Because the guys weren't playing. They raised the money up, K.A. They did all that. They guys were standing around, or better yet, guys wasn't even giving the effort, man. It's just going through the motion.
You guys, I just think it's to change it and do all of this. Just go back to the old format, and that's it. That's what I would do if I was the commissioner. I would run it.
But if they're not giving you what's needed and stuff like that, do you think it makes sense to go back to that?
Yes, because I think they would learn, man. After all the things that they went through, the players and the fans was talking about them and all that. I think they would learn, and it would be better. It would be better next year. But to sit down and we're gonna do it this way, we're gonna play European players, and it's just All-Star East-West. You pick the 12. You pick the 12 East, 12 West, and you play. You compete. I really, the game is not that simple, man. You know,
Yeah,
it's gotten too difficult and all that. It's simple. Excuse me. It's just a little different. You ask me.
yeah. I think what happens now is that we've come to a point that they can't afford to go back out there and let them. And I mean, look, conversations were had. Guys were like, yo, you know what? They understood as partners. They understood this, and it hasn't resulted. And that's been 2 years. And now you think about it this way. The NBA now has a new partner, NBC, who's paid a boatload of money. The other partners, ESPN, whatever, they want a return on their investment. And the only way that they could be able to do so is making sure that, you know what, make something that's very entertaining. Because here's the thing, KA, what's going to happen?
Mm-hmm.
It's not a question of if, it's just a matter of when. The weekend that the All-Star game normally takes place is President's Day weekend, where people are off work that Monday. For the most part, the game is on Sunday. But get this year. This year, the All-Star game is going to be starting earlier because of the Olympics. That's another a negative against the league, because now you're playing that game out, believe, out in California at the Clippers' new home, and that game is probably going to start 2:00 Eastern time, and 5:00 Eastern time in the East, and 2:00 in the West, which is a very early game. But the bigger picture is the NFL is looking to move. Their Super Bowl is the week before the All-Star game. They're looking to add another game to their schedule, which will give teams a double bye in the NFL, and which will extend the season. So guess what happens? The Super Bowl would be played on the President's Day weekend. And if the NBA doesn't get that act together anytime soon, they're going to have to move that game off that weekend. Yeah. And now it becomes a situation where you're going to lose fans, but more importantly, how the quality of the product becomes.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely correct. Yeah, they got to figure that one out.
They definitely got to figure that out. And I mean, it just really just doesn't make any sense. Another one that I wanted to ask you about is, obviously we looked at the whole thing with just that's going on. And the biggest thing is that having the Nico Harrison situation. Yeah. Nico Harrison, longtime guy with Nike. He was most recently GM, front office guy with the Dallas Mavericks. Really, again, a lot of people focused a lot of anger on him. And then all of a sudden he was fired this past week. You know, clearly how things have turned, because, again, the Mavericks have gone through the injuries. Kyrie hasn't been able to get back yet. Now we know about, you know, the whole situation with Anthony Davis. And look, it like I know you said before that give you 20 or 30 games to see a team. And right now, currently, the Mavericks, I mean, it's been a real struggle. They played New York tonight, but currently before that game, they having a record where ultimately they're 4-11. And I mean, clearly it's not out of it, but Nico Harrison took a lot. And I mean, there was so much venom directed towards him, where I said to people, he didn't trade those guys. The owner had to sign off on that guy on this. Are you surprised that Nico Harrison hasn't said anything? And should he get another opportunity to be a GM?
Yeah, he should get it. You know, that's my good friend. He should get another opportunity. And it's great he's not saying nothing. He just walked away. And, you know, sometimes you got to just move on with class. And you take the lumps. You know, that's the position you was in. You know, your team didn't do well, and boom. You know, you got killed for it in the media and things of that nature, and you just move on. And you live and learn. You learn from your mistakes. But to sit and swallow and get mad at somebody else for trades and getting people in on your team that you expected to do well and just didn't, and then the injuries, you just really don't know. It's just a tough situation, tough break, you know. Because when he got Cooper Flag in the draft, he was all excited. Anthony Davis, you know, was all geeked up. He was supposed to play and be good, you know, as far as with the injuries. Kyrie, we knew was coming, you know, mid-season or so, but they got the talent. I'm really confused over with Dallas because they have the talent, and I don't think they should be 4-11 and things of that nature because they have the talent.
You know, when I look at the Mavericks, and like you said before, when you talk about how many games do you really need to see a team before you can see it, I think it's a little different for certain teams. But for Dallas, I would say I really believe what you said, KA. Like you need probably 20 to 30 games to assess them because they're not built for the regular season, right? They're a team that's built for the playoffs. Get healthy, we go on a run.
But they have Cooper Flag there, so that's the number one recruit. So they like saying, we know we gotta bring him along. We gotta, but we're in this stratosphere where we should be one of the top teams in the West. And then Anthony goes down, and then Kyrie is down. They haven't had their full, team all year. So it's really a tough situation to be in for, Cooper Flag. But like he's a rookie, he's just gonna play.
Right.
He's gonna have ups, downs, and that's that's nature of the beast.
Right.
But Jason Kidd, great coach, but he's going through it also, over there. So it's when you lose like that, when you expect it to win, oh man, everybody get hit hard on,
Yeah. And I mean, it's still like you said before, man. Even if they lose the next game, they're gonna be like 4-12. It's still early.
It's still early.
It's still early, and not push the panic button. But
I think they already pushed the panic button.
Well,
some people don't. They don't know how to chill. They like, get rid of everybody. Keep Cooper Flag. That's it.
I think the biggest thing is, like you said, is making sure that at the end of the day, Nico Harrison. Look, I've said before. I've said it always. He didn't make that deal, right?
Yeah.
That was something I really believe the league wanted to have. Luka in LA as LeBron transitions out. You got to have a star in LA.
Yeah.
Put him in a space where now he goes to the Lakers.
Yeah.
I agree with you in terms of him, Nico not speaking out. I definitely hope that he gets another opportunity. But let's be clear, he's going to walk away. I wouldn't be surprised if he's not working for the NBA, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's working with Nike. Just because the fact is he's done great business. Aside from really overseeing to make sure Luka is there in LA, although also making sure that Luka is a brand Jordan Nike guy. Yeah. So now he's taking care of both of them.
So you think it was you think it was a Nike hush deal?
Of course it was.
Okay.
Because think about it this way. If you're trading Luka Doncic, you could get any package. There are way more teams out there that you could get an amazing package from. This all boils down to the new ownership group not wanting to pay Luka max. And I don't care what you say. They're trying to paint that stuff about his weight and all that stuff.
He's too young of a talent. Too young of a talent to get rid of. You just keep him.
Exactly. And the fact of the matter is, you know what? Hey, look, we don't want to pay him. I'm not going to be the owner that take the bullet. I need you, Nico, do this. And then you know what the league says? Hey, put him in LA. We're going to give you the number one pick.
Yeah.
They gave them the number one pick. The Mavericks had no chance. We give you the number one pick. So now you can tell your fans, hey, we got rid of Luka, but you know what? We need you to still buy your season tickets. And you know what? We want you to support the team. It's no different than what your former team, the Brooklyn Nets, are doing. They drafted 5 guys talking about, we're going to play these guys. Wink, wink. We're going to tank this year because we're going to try to get AJ DeBonster. We're going to try to get one of those top players. And the thing about it is, even though we're doing that and we're going to lose a lot of games, still buy your season tickets.
Yeah.
It's show
business.
business.
It's a business.
It's a business. And I mean, it clearly is not something that I'm surprised at. And the way it's happened, it's just been really interesting about that.
Yeah.
I wanted to move on and get your thoughts on this whole situation. So this past weekend, we had a situation where you had the guy, what's his face? Jamal Chase.
Yeah, Chase.
And Jamal Chase and the Cincinnati Bengals played the Pittsburgh Steelers. Bitter rivals, all the stuff that happened. And Jalen Ramsey, the cornerback for the Steelers, was thrown out of the game. And he said afterwards that Jamal Chase, stud wide receiver for the Cincinnati Bengals, spit on him. Well, it was proven that Jalen Ramsey was right because cameras caught Chase spitting on Jalen Ramsey the next day, and now he's suspended for a game. Should players who spit on another player in the NFL be subjected to a harsher punishment?
Yes.
Other than just a suspension?
Yes, one game I didn't. Maybe 3.
3 games.
3 games. I was thinking about that. One game. Come on, man. That's you don't spit on anybody. That's trifling right there. That's war. That's throw the helmet on. Throw the helmet off. Let's fight. Let's scuffle. That's just a whole different ball game.
In your travels in playing basketball, I'm not saying like spit, but has something gotten close to something like that? Do you remember something?
I don't. It's a couple of roof rafts, elbows, stuff like that. But I don't remember nothing like that happen. Nobody spitting on nobody.
Yeah, it just seems
that's disrespectful.
Totally. It seems like it's out of the ordinary. And when it comes to the NBA, like I think it was something where I don't know if it was Dennis Schroeder or somebody spit on Chris Paul some years ago. But it just don't really happen that much. Yeah. And I don't know what it is because this has happened quite a few times in the NFL where guys are spitting on one another. And that's why I said, man, being a commissioner and a part of the ownership group, you're right. I think it needs to be a harsher penalty. I think it needs to be 3 games.
I think about when you say commissioner. When David Stern was a hard-nosed commissioner, man.
Really?
And right now, with Adam Silver, he's doing a good job, but he's not as harsh.
Mm-hmm.
He's not as harsh as David Stern was. And I understand the money is a lot more money, a lot more understanding things that you got to understand and be more acceptance to and buckle down with rules and regulations. But I just don't see it, man. Just a hard nose, to straighten the whole lead out.
Yeah, like the NFL, it's been a problem with the NFL though.
Yeah,
man.
The NFL it's been definitely a problem with the NFL. They run around there rampant. They run rampant over there.
Yeah, and I mean the biggest thing is that you really can't see it because they have the helmets on.
Yes,
so you can't see it. So that is something that it really has gotten away from the fact is that seeing this stuff and saying, oh, okay, you know what? You go back, but now these cameras are picking this stuff up. But it's just the biting and all kind of stuff like that. I'm really surprised about that. When it comes to college basketball, and we're looking at college basketball right now, and just seeing how all of a sudden we got these guys in college basketball, and we're getting ready for the holidays. Thanksgiving is next week. You know what I'm saying, and then Christmas is right off of that. With the NBA, you said you need about 20 to 30 games.
Yeah.
What should we be looking for at early in the college basketball season? Like, how does Kenny Anderson watch these college basketball games and evaluate talent, whether a guy is good, or do you have the wait and see approach?
I like this. If I was a scout, things of that nature, you see the kids, you see the young men in practice, you see them at the games, and you it's the eye test, but you you know, I understand. I know the game of basketball, been around it my whole life. So, but those guys, the games are good, but then the practices, seeing how they work, you know, how they work and practice and things, that how they are with their teammates, things of that nature, and how they get the information from the coach and boom and take it on the court and finalize it and put it all together. The chemistry of the whole, how that young man gets along with the whole program is a plus. It needs to be nowadays,
right?
Because you don't want no knuckleheads running around, you know, because you might have all the talent in the world, but you're just not a good teammate.
Yeah, I mean,
that could be a problem.
I looked at I think the young man Koa Pete, who's playing for Arizona, and they're playing UConn today.
Yes,
and I was surprised and shocked that after his first game, I think the first game of the season, it was saying that, oh, he's a one and done guy, and he's this stuff. He's definitely going to be out of there. And I was very curious about that, simply because the fact is he's only played one game. Now, going back to when you played in college, and that going from high school to your freshman year, were people already starting to talk about the pros when you were in high school?
I couldn't go because I just was a ball handler, smaller guard. I just think with strength, I couldn't really. It was grown men in the league. So I just wanted a couple of more years where I could develop, you know, be stronger. You know, that's the only thing I was missing.
Yeah,
you know, being strong and things.
Did people say anything to you about the NBA?
Yeah. Talent-wise, definitely I could play in the NBA.
But people were telling you this.
Yes. You know, family, friends. Yeah, you know, I could play in the league. I knew I could play anywhere.
Right.
But just the strength level of it. You playing against grown men, so night in and night out, man. You got to be. It's all mental.
Right.
It's mental. It's not so much talent, and that's what some of these young men don't know. But now with the NIL and things of that nature, the money, they can stay in college. If they're not sure if they're gonna make the pros, they can stay in college for 4 years now, 5 years, things of that nature. So it's kind of out of hand a little bit.
Yeah, because it's funny, because it's interesting you talk about that, when you talk about the fact is that, you know, back then you wouldn't see an agent or a scout come to a high school gym.
Yeah.
Or you would see some guys probably obviously at the college game, but now guys are at the high school games. And the biggest thing is that, you know, when you're looking at these guys and stuff like that, do you need a certain amount of games before you can say, oh, this guy can play in the NBA?
Not so many, but against who? They go against the right talent. They go to the right schools when they play, because, you know, like when I was in, you know, Cupcakes, you know, we played like a little, in the beginning, you play 10 games that you capable of winning. And then you go right into the ACC, the league. Now that's tougher, you know, but I think you got to, you know, come and watch when they play another great opponent. You know, great talent and things of that nature, great schools. And that's where all the scouts come out to all the games, and they be in the stands and they be paying attention to it.
Yeah, no, that's definitely there. Let's move on, KA. You know what? We're going to keep it moving. You spoke about the NIL, and, you know, when you talk about the NIL money, where name, image, and likeness in college sports, has it gotten out of control? Because it seems like now, really, you're having to re-recruit kids. Like, you once coached college, right? And clearly the NIL wasn't in play then and there. But guys are starting to have to play guys. Like, I know a college coach that's actually talking about, I have 2 college coaches I know. One is like, yo, I got to play a kid at least 15 minutes. I must play that. That's a mandate. And then there's a guy that said, yo, I'm going to have to re-recruit these kids that's playing now and hopefully have them come back next year. You know, with NIL, and we're seeing it in football coaches, kids just getting up, moving and stuff like that. Have we gotten to a point that college NIL money in college sports has gotten out of control, or has it already begun to do so?
Yeah, it's begun to do so. Because I just think I think the coaches lose control a lot of times now when the money gets involved and the players and things of that nature that come to your program. You don't know what you're getting. You know, talent level is great, but the attitudes of the young man, the family, you know, all these guys want money and want to produce. They don't want to be into that family atmosphere where it was going to help and bring wins, you know, for the coach. So it's a little different. You know, and all you can do is, I don't know, man. I don't know if I can coach it. It'd be tough to really get it to coaching right now in the college level. It's tough. You gotta know how to deal with that.
Yeah,
it can be ugly at times.
Definitely, because again, it's money that's involved. And,
yes.
You know, I remember talking to Penny. He was saying, you know what, they had to ban the kids from going to the malls when they would go on trips and stuff like that to play against other teams. Kids was going to the malls. They going to the Louis and Gucci store at the malls, and they making more money than the assistant coaches and stuff like that. But you know, if you were in college right now, and obviously what you were doing at Georgia Tech, would you have thought, knowing that you pretty much had to go, you said you were going to stay another year, so I'm going to stay 2 years. Would you have left Georgia Tech in this era where the money is crazy, Kay? They're going to throw $3-4 million at you. Would you have stayed at Georgia Tech for a second season before leaving? Or
I don't know. Me, I was a different type of individual. I probably would have stayed because it wasn't so much the money. It really, with me, it was just the enjoyment of being in a college atmosphere, and playing, and we had a very good tight team. So, you know, it really wasn't about, I want to make the money and all that. I knew if I stayed, you know, now, you know, you never know if you get injured. You never know. So, but I didn't care about that. I just wanted to enjoy myself mentally.
Yeah. North Carolina, they're saying, hey, Kenny, we got this, we got $5 million for you to leave Georgia Tech.
I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I'm not sure about that. I know, $5 million, take the $5 million. I'm just not sure about that.
Yeah,
I'm just not really. It was more to it than that with me. You know, I played for 2 years. I wanted to stay for 3 years. You know, but you know I couldn't. You know, I was highly recruited in the NBA. But I don't know. I really wasn't. I was playing for the love of the game. I wasn't chasing dollars.
Gotcha.
I really wasn't. I really wasn't.
And when you talk about the NBA, did the league come to you and say, yo, you got to go? Were they the ones that was just like,
no, that's my coach, Coach Crimmins. You know, he did his research. He said, you go on 1, 2, or 3, you got to go. You know what I mean? And that's why I decided to come out of school.
Could you have left after your freshman year?
I'm not sure. I didn't really think about it. I didn't want to, but I didn't even think about it. You know, I wanted to leave. My third year, I wanted to leave, but you know, I left my second year.
Third year.
Yeah, I left my second year.
Yeah. Now your mom, you always talk about your mom, rest in peace. You talk about how impactful she was in the whole decision process and stuff like that. In that space and stuff like that, it was just pretty much you had to get the blessings from her to say, yo, you got to leave after your second year.
Yeah, because, you know, it was a different, you know, she wanted me to stay. Like, I just was, you know, it was great, you know, playing at Georgia Tech, going to school, things of that nature, playing. But she wanted me to stay, but she understood, you know, the numbers, you know, where I was going in the draft and things of that nature. So I had to go.
Right.
But, you know, my mother helped me, you know, pick my school. You know, she told me that I was going to Georgia Tech. She knew something I didn't know, man, and it just popped off. It worked out for me. It all worked out. It was crazy.
Hey, nothing like a mother's love, man.
Yep, definitely.
She know her child and stuff like that, and it worked all out, man. Let's switch up, man, before we get on out of here. And you know what? Kenny's assist, your Dallas Cowboys, man. Great win on Monday night.
Yeah, we look good. But I'm excited because we play the Philadelphia Eagles this weekend.
I gotta hear this. I gotta hear this.
So I'm excited. We played. So this is going to be a good game.
Right.
And I believe we got some for them. We got some for them. Upset in the making. Upset in the making.
So the Cowboys, again, they beat a Las Vegas Raiders team.
Yeah, they're not too good.
It was more Cowboy fans in the stands more than ever, man.
But I think we hurt. We would have been better off if we wouldn't have lost to the Carolina Panthers and Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah.
Those two losses going to hurt us, man.
Yeah.
Going to hurt us big time.
But you still got the faith because, look, you play the Eagles this weekend. Then it's a short week. You come back Thursday, Thanksgiving against the Chiefs in Dallas.
Yeah, that's a tough game. Yeah. But I'm looking at this Philly game first. I ain't looking at nothing else. And your Tampa Bay been struggling a little bit.
You want to throw salt on the wound so bad. See, that's what you want. You perked up when I say those Cowboys. Because you guys have won 2 games in a row. You won the game. No, you won the game there. You got a chance to win this 2 games in a row. You look really good and stuff like that. Yeah, my Buccaneers have been struggling. It's funny because at the end of the day, there's been a rough stretch that they've gone through when you're trying to manage injuries and stuff where
y'all got a lot of injuries. Y'all got a whole bunch of injuries.
We're not playing the 3rd, 4th place a seed or stuff record. We're playing a 1st place record. That's why we're getting the top teams and stuff like that. And the interesting thing is we lost 4 games. The 4 teams that have beat us, they have a combined record of 23-11.
Wow.
So at the end of the day, that lets you know what? Hey, we've been taking on the best, but we're going to keep on keeping on.
Yeah.
And making sure we do that. Let's move on because you know what? I wanted to get your thoughts on this whole situation where I was looking at something that happened actually this evening. And it was really interesting in terms of just what the Rockets did. So the Houston Rockets are playing the Cleveland Cavaliers tonight. And they started the game out with Asur Thompson.
Yeah, big.
Kevin Durant in the backcourt.
That's huge.
Then they went Alfred Sengun, Jabari Smith, and Steven Adams. They put out a lineup that was 6'7", 6'11", and I believe it was 6'9", 6'9", and 6'11", if I'm not mistaken. They put out a big lineup against the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Yeah.
And K.A., I think all of this has been done by design. And
yes.
I want to ask you what the the Rockets have done. They're up big pretty much right now, but it's still early in that game. Do you think that obviously the NBA and sports are a copycat league? When you look at what the Rockets have been able to do you think that we're going to probably see other teams try to emulate what they have done?
Oh, yeah, that's what they're doing. They're just trying to get bigger people like that can play 1-2 positions, the point guard position. You don't need a position now. Anybody can play the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can get these big lineups, and this is what these teams are doing.
Yeah,
it's interesting, but Houston have a very good coach.
Ime Udoka,
yeah, he's a very good coach, and they have one of the best players of all time, Kevin Durant. So and they put the pieces around him.
Right,
they got a very good team, good team.
And they're missing Ime Udoka, who was out with the towards ACL before the season ever started. So the thing about it is, I saw Cleveland do this a couple of years back when they had Lauri Markkanen, and they put Lauri Markkanen, Jared Allen, and Evan Mobley. They started all 3 of those.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah, and that was huge, right? They had a big front line. But now you see what Houston has done. They're taking a step further. I really believe somebody's going to look at this and say, you know what? We're going to try to use size to really pound a lot of teams when you can be able to go out with 6'5" and 6'7". But you know what, Kenny? The position you play as a point guard, as a facilitator, that's something that's always going to be needed.
Yeah, he's going to need it. And And now the game is a 3-point ball. You know, everybody's spread around 3-pointers and things of that nature. So gotta get those shooters out there on the perimeter, things of that nature. So it's gonna be interesting. But like I said, I think you can use the big lineup every now and then until the playoffs.
Yeah,
playoffs you can use them, you know, but regular season, you can use it.
So you don't believe other teams will try to copy this?
A few teams. Now, what about Golden State? Can't do it. They go small.
I think small ball is done. I really believe small ball is done.
I think you gotta. Houston is capable of playing both ways, and if you can play both ways, that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
But you look at a guy like Joker, where you got Joker. Aaron Gordon is having an unbelievable year for the Denver Nuggets, where you can sit back and say, if you got a big man that is effective like that, look at Dallas. When they get healthy, they could start out a lineup where you have Lively and maybe Gafford along with Anthony Davis. They have size. So the biggest thing is, if you're going to be in this thing to win it, you got to be able to counter that size. And it's just really appealing. Now, you got to have talented players. Like Minnesota, a couple years back, you remember Minnesota had, his name is escaping me. I see his face. The big guard, they had the point guard. Sometimes they would have Michael Conley out there with them. And then they would have Karl Anthony Towns. You would also have Rudy Gobert. I thought that was really answered. Jaden McDaniels. They would have McDaniels, at times Conley, and then they have McDaniels and Anthony Ant-Man Edwards into that backcourt and stuff like that. And they would be big, So, we've seen certain things where McDaniel would go to the 3. So we've seen parts of that. I'm just curious to see if it would come back, though.
Yeah, it's definitely going to come back because that's the way basketball is. Everybody's different eras, different time, and it's going well with the lineups but like you said, they gotta be skilled.
Yes.
Houston has those skilled players that can do that.
That's a good point there. And we close out, Kenny, before we get out of here. And we're not going to be on the air next Wednesday because it's Thanksgiving Eve.
Yes.
We're going to be off. We're going to Thanksgiving Eve. Before we get out of here, man, when you look at a lot of the stuff that's going on, and I always focus on Thanksgiving. When you talk about Thanksgiving and stuff, what's your thoughts of Thanksgiving? And what are you most thankful for?
Yeah, I just want to I'm thankful for my health. About 7 years ago, I had a stroke and I almost died, man. So, I changed my whole demeanor and everything about people. And, I've lost everybody in my family somewhat. And so I just thank God, that I'm still here. I'm able to talk to everyone about my playing the game. I came up to love basketball, I'm just thankful, man. I'm very thankful that I'm still here and I'm healthy, and I just can give it to you. I can talk to y'all about the game, that I love basketball.
Yeah, and like you said, man, you here. I'm thankful like you, and just being in a space to be here, and really more than ever, man, I always look at Thanksgiving. It's sometimes, it's just about being, and really remembering others, because I think the biggest thing is that people really think about family. They think about, the food and the fellowship. But I think about people that sometimes that might not have a big family or family. So it's also just being kind and thinking about those people that might be spending Thanksgiving by themselves. The people out there that's less fortunate, that don't have a place to go grab a meal. So I'm really thankful for that, man. And I'm thankful to be able to do this show with you, man.
Yeah, definitely.
And I'm thankful that you are here. And like you said before, a setback is always a setup for a comeback. And to be able to say, you know what, in the land of the living is always a blessing, man. That about wraps it up. K.A., listen, you, the family, have a great Thanksgiving. Everybody out there, have a great Thanksgiving. You know what? We'll be back right after that. And you know what? Definitely, man, make sure you keep and subscribe to the Heavy in the Paint. Peace.
Peace.
Thanks for joining the show. Be sure to subscribe to the show and follow the guys' social media. And remember, no pump faking in the paint.
Hey, what's up, man?
What's up, man?
Okay? What, you was okay last week?
Nah, I had it. Well, I was fine, and then I got sick. I had to check myself, my high blood pressure in the hospital. I went in and yesterday, and then I went to see my doctor yesterday, and then I went in emergency, and they told me I was fine. Took all the tests and things of that nature.
So you was getting sick last week?
Yeah, it all happened. Yeah, last week. So that's why I really didn't want to, say too much. I didn't want to go.
My
but,
bad.
I'm doing well. My health is doing well. So thank God.
Yeah. I didn't know that, man. Because
I didn't want to just tell you every time,
No, because I know I sent you the stuff, and then I told Pooh Richardson that you were gonna be on.
Yeah, I kind of like screwed it up. But then, my health, I'm like,
and then when you hit me that morning, you was like, yo, I can't make it. I was like, okay. I just wanted to make sure you were okay and stuff.
Yeah, I'm all right, man. But it was just one of them things where I just want to be sure with my health and things of that nature.
I feel you, man. So I got a couple of guys I want to run past you. Brendan Haywood want to come on the show.
Brendan Haywood,
big 7-footer.
Oh yeah. I didn't play against him, but yeah.
He want to come on the show, and then Big Rick want to come on the show.
your man, Rick Mahal. That's my guy.
Big Rick said, yo, I want to come on the show. So he back traveling now. So let me try to set some up. But do you know Gary DeCesar?
Yeah, I know him. Yeah.
Yeah, Gary want to come on the show too. So I know Gary from St. Raymond's High School, but Gary used to be him and Sonny were cool with ABCD Camp.
Yeah.
And Gary used to coach St. Raymond's with Kareem Reed.
Yeah, I know all of that. Yeah. He coached my guy Mike Thompson, I believe, because he went to St. Raymond's. Terry Rencher, all of them.
Yes. Yeah, T. Rencher, all of them. I don't know if you know Charlton Clark. I don't think you know Charlton Clark, probably.
No.
Yeah, but he was there. So I just didn't know if you knew these guys, how you feel about these guys coming on the show.
Oh no, they fine. Them a good guys. New Yorkers, they good people.
Okay, yeah. So Brendan Haywood, you cool with getting on the show?
Yeah, I don't know him.
Okay, yeah.
That's true. I don't really. Brendan Haywood, I know he went to UNC, right? But I don't really. That was he's younger than us. I don't really.
Yeah.
I don't really know him. I know he does the commentating. I don't really.
In college and stuff like that. Yeah. And then I'll let you know about another cat want to come on the show, man. He a big fan of yours too. He played in the NBA. CJ Miles.
Yeah. He's out the lead though now, right?
Yeah.
But he played in the lead a long time.
Yeah. CJ came straight from high school and went to Utah.
Yeah.
He played.
Where does he live at? What area?
He lives in San Antonio now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. Well, he lives in San Antonio. BJ told me to tell you what's up.
Yeah,
man.
Tell BJ they struggling. They play tonight. They play. Oh, I told you, but
they gonna get their head cracked.
They gonna get their head rocked. Oh man, I meant to tell you that. I was like, damn. When I seen they like full. I'm like, and then Doug Christie, he be on the air like bugging, like he just be going crazy. I was like, yo, see, that's with that coach in the league. That should have had you like, that's
man,
tough, man.
And they got guys, but you know what?
They got talent, but if it's not mesh,
exactly. You just said the thing, yo. It don't match. That's their biggest problem is they team.
They got talent,
match,
but they don't match.
Yeah, nah. It's BJ like, yo, I gotta go to Vegas next week for the college joint, that Players Era, that tournament out there where the team win $2 million and stuff like that.
Okay.
So he going out there for that, and he trying to look in the draft or whatever.
Yeah, they gotta look. Yeah,
they terrible.
They got Westbrook over there.
Yo, they terrible, man. They played San Antonio tonight without without Wemby.
Nah, they play
OKC tonight.
OKC tonight. I'm like, oh man. It's rough, man.
They go get their heads cracked open, man. In fact, they playing now. Oh, they down 2.
Okay.
In the second quarter, they down 2, man.
Yeah.
But yo, man, listen, man, I'll reach out to you before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, thanks. We'll talk, but we'll be back on that following Wednesday. What's that?
Yeah, that following Wednesday is
December. What is that?
The following Wednesday is the 3rd, December 3rd.
Yeah.
So let me know if anything comes up.
No, we should be good.
Because I try to make sure I don't schedule some of the guys and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I definitely want to make sure I get your input.
Maybe we get Pooh Richardson on, maybe the 3rd.
Yeah, but he already came on the show.
Oh, he came on with you.
Yeah, he came on. Yo, we want to get Derek Coleman on, man.
Oh, we get Derek. Let me know. Maybe the 3rd. I'll call him.
Yeah. If you can reach out to him, I'll try to reach out to some people as well. And then I got to find out if Rick is available because he said, yo, he won't come on the show. Talk his talk,
Yeah, definitely. Because y'all talk on the radio together.
Man.
How's that coming along?
Yeah, it's coming good, man. You got to get you on, man.
Yeah. Let me know when.
Yeah, I mean, you can't talk about your Celtics and stuff like that because they terrible.
Nah, they're not. They're not terrible. They're not. They 500. They one game of 5. They blew out the Brooklyn Nets.
But your man Jaylen Brown running around with that stuff.
Yeah, he got to chill with that, though. He got to chill with that. I don't understand with the dye in the hair and all that. Yo, just get rid of it. Just crack the baldy. Yo, you bugging out. Just crack the baldy.
Yo, he had braids at one time. They say
they quit. The braids be like, yo, this whole setup be wild. This whole setup. I'm like, if you got the right head for it, just go bald.
Yo, man.
You lose your hair spot and all. Yo, just give it up.
That's your man, yo. Your man, yo. You for your team. Yo, come on, man.
Yo, your Knicks play tonight.
Yeah, they play Dallas, man. I don't know.
Yeah, they'll blow them out. They'll blow them out.
Yeah, I think Jalen Brunson might play tonight, man.
Nah, he probably should. Nobody on their team playing. He should get some rest. That's what I would do.
You know what, though, man? Yo, how do you feel when you're in there, man? You comfortable, man? You doing a great job, man.
Yeah, I'm comfortable. The more I do it, the better I get.
Yeah,
and that's just in life. That's what you do.
Yeah, is it hard to remember certain things or whatever? Like some of the stuff that's from like
certain things, yeah.
Because I don't want to sort of put pressure on you. That's why I'm saying let me know.
Yeah.
Something like that. Because I don't
like I go over everything you went over, when you talk, I read it over and over. So I'm saying, I'm able to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. As we get more and more, I get better and better, easier and easier.
And you're doing
that's why I do this, to get better.
Yeah. It's good because again it develops the muscle memory.
Yes,
you're doing a great job, man.
Yeah,
doing a great job, man. But enjoy it, yo. I'm gonna go watch this. I'm gonna watch some of BJ and them team before it get out of control.
Where? What you gonna watch?
I'm gonna watch OKC and Sacramento before it get out of control.
Your boy B. Yo, get him on one day. Me and BJ go at it.
Yo, BJ said, yo, he ain't doing no more. He said, yo, for real, he ain't doing no more press.
Okay.
You don't do no more.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. Some people like that. That's fine.
He said, yo, I want to play the background because that's his man. Scott
that's what gave him the job. That's smart.
Yeah, that's his man. So he said, yo, I don't want to take away the sound. Yo, I talk to him every day, man. Talk to him every day.
Tell him I said, what's up, man?
Yeah, man. I tell him, man.
That's my guy. Good brother. Good brother.
He said, yo, man, what's up with Cheers, man? I said, yo, you doing well, man, and stuff like that. And, like I said, Rick always asks about you.
Good brother.
Yeah, man. He said, yo, man, he wanted to definitely come on and stuff like that, man, as well. So
yeah, I call Rick. I'm gonna text him tomorrow. I'm gonna wait. I'll text Rick tomorrow.
Yeah, text him, man, and definitely, like I said, I'll hit you up before Thanksgiving, man. But definitely let me know and keep posted.
Have a great Thanksgiving. Don't eat too much turkey.
Nah, man, I'm chilling, man. I'm chilling. I'll definitely reach out to you, man. I appreciate you, brother.
I love you. Stay
up,
baby.
Love you more. Peace.
All right. Oh, shit. Ah. Ooh. Oh. Minute. Come on. All right.
Arizona's got three other guys who can do damage with the dribble or the shot on the floor right now. Playing straight up here, right? Yeah, absolutely. Offensive rebound for a reset for Arizona. They have 13 of them. Tonight, timeout Connecticut, their final one. He is not giving it up to either. This big timeout is set for Arizona. What are we going to do at what time with the 3-point lead? Are we going to give one at the end? Look at this step through earlier. Just magnificent feel for the game. Look at this. Just footwork. Incredible. This would be a 1-on-1 with any foul. You do have the option, as you say. I mean, if you get down to the final 4 or 5 seconds, that's the number I would look at. Yeah, it is. Maybe give it up. It's such a dangerous situation, too, with that. You're so alert. Knowing you're going to foul them.
Oh, shit. Oh.
It's, you know, we saw it in a Creighton UConn game just last year, right? Do you reach in? Do you try and foul? UConn, remember, no timeouts left. Arizona has 1 remaining. Press with Bradley, aren't you? Oh, I mean, big thing is where do you go now? Interesting enough, they've really handled a lot. It might be a pick and pop, right? But you know you can get that.
But will he take it with the game on the line?
I would say yes, he will. I mean, whoever has that ball at that particular time is going to have to take it. It's really early enough to go quick and get it.
Dude.
Looking for one more defense to stop. UConn has 7 threes tonight. Lila has 2.
Oh, shit. I got it. Gotta get off this. How do I get off?
Juicy secrets. And speaking of secrets,
Thanks for joining the show. Be sure to subscribe to the show and follow the guys' social media. And remember, no pump faking in the paint.